afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if Bhuvnesh is in the house. He keeps pushing people in. Bhuvnesh, I just want to say, just because I've grown a beard doesn't mean I become a moderator. I'm as good as a panelist as a moderator. Okay, gentlemen. Samir, since you're just back from Georgia, we'll start with you.
What's the connection to
that? New hotels, Palampur, upscale hotels, Kochi, Tirupur, Siliguri, Rishikesh, Tier 2 markets, Tier 3 markets. Is there a change in the fortune strategy on growth, and what are you doing there?
So, first of all, Bhuvnesh, thank you for inviting us over here, and it's been a good day so far. In terms of Tier 2, Tier 3 markets, is there a change in strategy? No, I don't think there's a change in strategy. Probably it's become a little more pronounced. As we look at the journey Fortune Hotels has had over the last 2 decades plus, one of the things which we sort of identified was that India is going to grow across more than just the metro cities or the Tier 1 cities. And that's why many years back we had identified that there is potential for us to grow, and we could be probably the first movers in many of those locations. Over the last few years, as we heard in the sessions preceding this one, there has been a lot of activity to drive growth into Tier 2, Tier 3 markets. I mean, we heard about the number of airports growing, connectivity improving, number of flights, railway connectivity, all on the upswing, all improving. And clearly that shows that there is a lot of potential in Tier 2, Tier 3 markets. The real India is growing at a much faster pace outside the top 8 or top 10 cities. And that's where the opportunity for not just us, for most brands lies. So I think that's where we see that there's a good opportunity. Of course, our brand is very well known, and we are able to capitalize on that and get into some of these markets and play that role.
So how many hotels signed this year?
Wow. We have already signed 8 hotels, and I think we look good to sign a few more by the end of the year.
Yeah. Okay. Jatin, you said we want to be the best mid-market company, but with the frills of the big boys.
Right. So good evening, everyone. So I know where this comes from. This was probably one of my sound bites or something in a print. But let me not talk about that, but let me take a step back. Sarovar has been in existence for 3 decades. We celebrated 30 years. And I think it's safe to say that we were probably one of the first entrants into mid-markets. And I'm not going to talk too much about mid-market because everybody's spoken about Tier 2, Tier 3 cities. Why I made that comment was for a very simple reason. We've heard everybody through the day as to how the real growth in coming decades is happening in Tier 2 and Tier 3. And by the way, one of the main indices, if you don't look at hotels or just talk about majority of what's happening in e-commerce world or the digital world, 55% of the transactions today happen in Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4 cities when it comes to anything which is happening on the digital economy. So I think from that perspective, when I joined the company, and it's a very honest answer as to what really happened with Ajay at the helm and me joining and somebody for the first time coming as, I can say, probably an outsider between late Mr. Madok and Ajay. I think it was a very clear thing, which was an emotional and non-emotional thing. Emotional was that we do not want to lose our identity, which I don't think we have, but the non-emotional part was, how do we keep on becoming better at what we are? Today we have 125 hotels in 80 locations. And what we've done with the frills of big boys is that today we are on CRS, you get your GDS availability. We are one of the first mid-market companies who went into gig workforce, and we were able to establish an answer to our reservation systems. Missed call percentage came down. We reinvented our guest satisfaction system, and majority of the focus is on social media reviews, especially 75% Google reviews. We revamped our revenue management system and the team, which has seen all the growth coming. I just have to say this, that every company puts a long-term plan, and Zubin is here. We were talking about long-term plan. Nikhil, you and me keep on talking about long-term plan. When we made a long-term plan, we said 5 years will be double. 2019 to 5 years, remove 2021, and by 26 end we will be. I'm happy to tell you that Sarovar will achieve that in 4 years with a CAGR of 16.8 at the end of next year. So I think that really talks volume. And I don't want to talk about number of hotels. My favorite is number of destinations. We are at 80 destinations. By the time we finish this year, we will be at 84 or 85 destinations. You're going to ask me how many hotels we've signed this year?
No, I just want to say, because we are missing Sanjay, I'll play part panelist as well. So we are in 76 destinations today, and we're adding another 36 destinations at Radisson.
So thank you.
Mr. Mohapatra, we'll come to you. Most anticipated debut atmosphere hotels, Maldives, coming into India. What are your India plans?
See, exactly 2 years before, in fact, in the same forum, I have announced our entry to India, in fact, the hunting of the properties. And this is being a brand from Maldives. And it took us 10 years to put us our legacy and become a market leader in Maldives in a luxury segment. In 2020-21, actually, in fact, we wanted to make an entry to India. Because of the COVID, we made delay. But 2022, we started our company in India and also market search for the properties. And we have first signed the property in 2022 November. Now we are almost in a comfortable position at this moment, but still we are trying more properties to get into it. And as in India, tourism and hospitality industry is in boom. And what we feel, MICE, wedding, leisure and pleasure, all these segments are really inclined towards up. And basically after the COVID, what you call over luxury and luxury segment has been identified and also been taken care of properly. And what I feel, after that, many brands also going towards the luxury and over luxury properties. And after the COVID, it is actually taken a real step. And we thought it is the right time to get into this market, 2022. And now, very basically, we are in a almost the first property going to be launch in the next month, in November 2022. That will be the first Ocean property in India. And Ocean is the topmost brand. It is our luxury property. And again, we are going towards the second property in Atmosphere, Southern Manzil by Atmosphere in Bhopal. We are going to launch in December 2024. And also the third property in Nagpur also we have already announced. Most probably by December end or first week of January, we are going to open the property.
So just a follow-up question. The first one is in Kolkata?
Calcutta.
In Calcutta. So when you're entering the market, what is the ADR expectancy that you have for Atmosphere? Because you said there are different tiers. And what is the strategy there?
You see, it is a definitely over luxury property. And as you said, we are going for hit the MICE and the wedding segment more. And also our properties are definitely, we are going for more in F&B. And of course, we are coming up with 235 rooms, 7 F&B outlets. And we know the Calcutta, the food, and the people are foodie. And a lot of people who comes from the outside also, they look for more the restaurants, more the F&B outlets. And our expectation is definitely whatever the other our luxury property are doing in the market, will definitely compete with them.
And these are all managed, not franchised?
All managed property.
So Samir, you also do franchise with the Welcome Hotel brand, or Welcome Heritage, not Welcome Hotel, sorry. What are your plans in Fortune? And
In terms of
franchising.
Franchising. So primarily, so far, we have always been in the managed hotel space, and we continue looking at that. Of course, like most other operators, we would be open to looking at franchise if it's the right partner, the right location, and the right factors around it. So yeah, that's the way we would look at it. Welcome Heritage, of course, is a pure play franchise brand which we currently operate.
Jatin, same question. I mean, Golden Tulip.
So, yes, we'll talk about that, but before that, I want one thing to sink into the audience, and that is not primarily just about Sarovar, but the might of mid-market, what really prevails in our country. We were looking at some data, and we said we want to look at what we're doing this year. It took us exact 16 years to open first 24 hotels. Okay, just remember this number, 16 years to open first 24 hotels. This year, we've already opened 20 and we'll open 4 more in the calendar year, opening 24 hotels, what took us 16 years. So it really shows the might of mid-market as to what's really happening in that space, not just for Sarovar, but for everybody. But to coming back to your question, you know, at the end of the day, I have to talk about certain things, right? But coming back to your question, Sarovar, barring few exceptions, is a pure play management contract for us, barring few exceptions, which have been there for years and years. For us, franchising is only through Tulip family, which is Tulip Inn, Golden Tulip, Royal Tulip. And you can understand the focus that a lot of time we put a lot more focus into franchising now. When we had our principal partners come on board with us, which is Louvre Hotels, at that time I think there were roughly around 45 Golden Tulips in India. Where I can't take any credit for it, but it was Rajesh and Ajay and team who really went through the filtration process, and we were only left with 8. And today we're back to 15 Golden Tulips and another 5 opening. Maximum of them are in franchise world. So we do franchise, but only in Tulip family, but with very good partners, good locations, and being selective about it. Does that answer?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. We'll move into the second phase. Zubin earlier spoke about manpower, and you've just done an MOU on skilling, right? Can you talk about what is the Sarovar strategy on skilling and education institutes, and what is Sarovar doing there?
So there are 2-3 parts to this. Yes, we've signed an MOU. We still have to see fruits of the labor, to be very honest, and that may not be the best politically correct answer, but that's the long and short. But what we've also realized is that if we want to be in this game, and if we're talking about the growth, what we're really talking, we need to invest a lot more, which means that we need to put a lot more skin in the game. We've started our own management training program for the first time, which is purely funded by Sarovar, not by hotels, which means not by the owners. We have done a tie-up with ISH, shortest program, 12-month, and with pit stops, we look at these kids to become our general managers in 5 to 6 years. We've started our own internal GM development program, where we've already done 90% out of 20 selected HODs who've already been general manager now for 6 months and above within our system. But the only thing with MOUs is that you can do a lot of that, but if you cannot guarantee the employment post the training or vocational training, that is where the whole issue comes. And that's my experience, having dealt and having worked alongside on this. I think that's where we all have to work much better as hoteliers, is what I will say.
Samir, do you have this issue in ITC because it's ITC on manpower and skilling?
Sorry?
Do you have any issues on manpower and skilling because you're ITC?
Do we have any issues? Yes, of course. We are no different from the rest of the industry. So I guess similar issues do exist. The advantage we have is, of course, we've been around for a while, and hence we are able to attract some sort of talent to all our hotels. Again, heard about what Jatin does with his team. A lot of work similar has happened in our portfolio as well in terms of developing GMs within the system. HODs are being developed within the system. So that allows us to sort of at least hedge the risk to a large extent in terms of not having the right manpower.
And Mr. Mohapatra, are you looking at getting people from Maldives to work in India?
It's difficult to get the people in India, but we are getting some experts from the Maldives, some experts from the other part of the world. You know, in the Maldives, we have the L&D team is very strong, and also we have hired the people almost from 31 countries. And that is also, giving me a lot of support as far the expert is concerned. But anyway, we are getting the people, lot of good people from the India itself. Now almost 80-85% people already we have hired for these 3 hotels. So yes, we are going to the school, management schools. We are going to the all kind of, from the root level, we are trying to take it up.
Okay, I think we've talked enough on business. We'll make it a little fun and a little bit of rapid fire to get to know the 3 of you better. We'll start with Mr. Mohapatra. Favorite actress?
Favorite?
Actress.
Sridevi.
Samir, favorite actor?
Favorite actor?
Yeah.
Favorite actor is probably Shah Rukh Khan.
For me, it's Akshay Kumar, hands down.
Akshay Kumar. Okay.
अपना भी बता दे.
Shah Rukh Khan.
कॉपी किया उसने मेरा.
नहीं, Jaideep and I share that. Okay. Top 3 hospitality investment markets. Mr.
See,
Mohapatra.
as for me, definitely one is the India, no doubt about it. Investment market. I've seen the Maldives also. It is a good market as far the investment is concerned. And if you'll ask me, I'll go for Thailand.
So you would say India, Maldives, Thailand, in that order? Okay. Samir,
I was
Georgia.
thinking more domestic because
Georgia.
I run a domestic hotel company, right? So,
Okay, top
Yeah.
3 domestic.
so I will say Bombay, Bangalore, and Goa.
Bombay, Bangalore, Goa. Jatin?
Well, I have a different take. I would say if you stick to India, look at state capitals first.
Yeah.
Because I think whatever is happening in Indian landscape, with state governments getting a lot more funding, a lot more focus, state capitals become a very good place. Let's take an example of Raipur. A few years back, Raipur, nobody would have heard, and today everybody wants to be there. That's one. Second is obviously depending on how big or how small the investment is, but the offbeat locations, I think are very much, pretty much in, but you can't have a big investment coming up over there. So I think that's the second thing. And third thing, which in my opinion will not go out of fashion, is all your spiritual, tourism or your religious places. That will never go out of fashion. I know we're talking that Ayodhya will be an oversaturated market, but there's a lot happens between supply and demand. If you look at 10, 12 years back how Chennai was, or 10 years back how Pune was, or Ahmedabad was, it kind of settles down. And the way things are growing, in one of my earlier things, I had always said that you are either religious or you're spiritual. For everything, you will have to go back to God. So that's really what happened. These are my 3 probably, top picks if you'll ask me. But state capitals for sure. Look at Dehradun, that's a prime example. As soon as the new state came, look at the investments going over there, look at the brands going over there, and mind you, it is still a very good high occupancy market. So that's what my
Just to Jatin's point, there are 45 approved hotel sites in the city of Ayodhya. Okay, so that's probably the most any city has seen interest in literally 12 months. Okay, complete the sentence, Samir. The key to a successful hotel investment in India is?
Having the right talent.
Right talent. Jatin?
Just repeat again, then I'll fill in the blank.
The key to a successful hotel investment.
Once again.
Sarovar.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for somebody to say that.
You
That
have
was
to
the
remind
idea,
him
right?
it's rapid fire, otherwise he goes very long on answers.
Okay. Mr. Mohapatra?
Yes, exactly, talent, what you said.
Talent. No, I didn't say it. Samir said it. Yeah.
I think it's about great partnership, if you ask me, between an operator and an investor. It's about great partnership.
Okay, the timer's up. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our time. Thank you so much, and thank you to the panelists.